Hey mitten folk, I'm Lydia from the Michigan DNR, and today I'm in Detroit to explore the Outdoor Adventure Center, also known as the OAC, which, surprise surprise, is actually an indoor DNR facility located on the Detroit riverfront where individuals can learn about Michigan's wildlife and nature and a whole bunch of other stuff. And I want to tell you about my experience and most importantly tell you 4 things I think you should know about the Outdoor Adventure Center. So with that, let's head inside. First and foremost, you need to know that the OAC is an experience for all ages. When you first walk into the building, you'll be greeted by some very friendly staff. Admission is free for children under 2, $3 for children between the ages of 2 and 12, $5 for adults, and $3 for seniors 62 and older. The first room you enter past the front desk is set up for younger children to play with outdoor-themed toys, so if your family members are still very young, there are things for them to do here.
Whoever was here last time and played with these, I'm dying to know. What's the plot line here? Is he like the king beaver because he has the marshmallow scepter? So I see it there all eating fish, but what's going on here? Is there like a treaty being worked out with the owl?
But this place isn't just for kids. The OAC has 3 floors full of interactive materials and simulations for anyone to try, so if you've always wanted to know what it's like in a hunter's blind trying to identify animals, or maybe even pretend you're an eagle flying, you can try that here. And as someone who's young but clearly not a kid anymore, I know firsthand how it can feel intimidating to play around in interactive places like this, but it's a lot more exciting and you get a lot more out of the experience when you take a deep breath and just have fun with it. Yeah, you probably already guessed this one, but yes, the OAC is very educational. I'm still pretty new to the DNR, so there's a lot of things I'm still learning, especially when it comes to Michigan's wildlife. And during my time at the OAC, I learned something something I'm a bit embarrassed I didn't already know.
Wow, I didn't know they had eyes.
I didn't know that sea lamprey had eyes. I've seen pictures of these things, but it was always of their teeth and they looked kind of like worms to me, so I assumed that like worms, they didn't have eyes. Yes, I hear how dumb this sounds. Since this place is very experience-based, you can just wander around and play and learn about the joys of the outdoors by doing. But if you're more of a fact-based learner, then you'll want to stop and read the informational signs that they have just about everywhere. You can learn about camping, bears, Detroit's boating history, you can learn about forest and outdoor hobbies, and just a whole lot of stuff. Side note, I found it quite funny how a lot of these signs have a very Shiloh buff energy to them.
Do it!
I personally really like to learn in both ways, making their house on the 2nd floor easily become one of my favorite displays there. You get to explore this cute house while also learning how simple changes to your daily life, like shortening how long you're in the shower, can have a positive impact on the environment.
I don't know what I was expecting, but that was not it.
The third thing you need to know is that the OAC is a sensory, immersive, and interactive experience. This is definitely my favorite aspect of the OAC. If you want to try kayaking, you can do that. If you want to go inside a bear's den, you can do that too. If you want to go in an airplane, guess what? You can do that. This really is the sort of place where you can crawl around and explore. And there are so many things to touch. I can be quite the fidgety, touchy person, at least when it comes to objects. I just have that occasional compulsive need to just boop. So this place was pretty much sensory heaven for me. They have quite a few things you can interact with, from animal furs to rocks.
I think those should have a label that says, please touch the salt rock, but do not lick, because the temptation is palpable.
As my trip to the OAC comes to an end, I need to tell you a bit about the history of this building. The OAC is housed in what was formerly known as the Globe Building, which originally manufactured marine steam engines for freight and passenger vessels. After the Detroit Shipbuilding Company dissolved in the late 1920s, the former engine building plant was then used by a small stove manufacturer and lastly by a machinery wholesale firm known as the Globe Trading Company. It wasn't until around the late 90s that the DNR started efforts to create some sort of outdoor recreation possible along the Detroit riverfront. This resulted in Michigan's first urban state park and eventually the OAC. And fun fact, apparently when the DNR first got this building, it only had 3 walls. I would have never been able to guess that this building was ever in such a state before, which I guess is a testament to the renovation efforts. I believe this information is important to bring up because it's a good example of the correlation and value the DNR makes between nature and culture. The DNR sees both Detroit's history and citizens' opportunity to connect with the outdoors as important, so they created something unique that honors both and provides a space to make new memories. So that was the OAC. I really enjoyed my time here today and was told that they do have events and special weekend activities or displays, so your experience does depend a bit on what day you go. But before I go, I do have a question for you guys. Have you ever been to the OAC? If you have, please let me know what your experience was like in the comments below. Just please remember that we are all human, so please keep the comments humane, and I'll see you next time.